E3, or the Electronic Entertainment Expo, is one of the most iconic and influential trade events in the gaming industry. Its history reflects the evolution of gaming itself, showcasing technological advancements, major game reveals, and the competition between gaming giants. The event has been a stage for groundbreaking announcements and has shaped how games are marketed and received by the public. The first E3 took place in 1995 at the Los Angeles Convention Center. Before this, video game companies had to showcase their products at broader trade shows like the Consumer Electronics Show or CES. The gaming section often felt overshadowed, leading to the need for a dedicated event. E3 was established by the Interactive Digital Software Association, now the Entertainment Software Association, or ESA. The inaugural event drew significant attention, with companies like Sony, Sega, and Nintendo making major announcements. Sony used E3 1995 to introduce the PlayStation to North American audiences, pricing it at $299, a memorable moment as it undercut Sega's Saturn, which was announced at $399. This pricing war set the tone for the competitive nature of E3. Sega, on the other hand, shocked attendees by announcing that the Saturn was immediately available in select stores, a move that backfired due to limited availability and unprepared retailers. Nintendo, meanwhile, focused on the upcoming Nintendo 64, although it wasn't playable until E3 1996. E3 1996 marked the playable debut of the Nintendo 64, showcasing titles like Super Mario 64 and Pilot Wings 64. These games demonstrated the potential of 3D gaming and cemented Nintendo's reputation as an innovator. Meanwhile, Sony continued to push the PlayStation with titles like Crash Bandicoot, while Sega struggled to maintain momentum with the Saturn. By 1997, E3 had solidified its reputation as the premier gaming event. Sony unveiled Gran Turismo and Final Fantasy VII, two titles that would become iconic for the PlayStation. Nintendo introduced GoldenEye 007 and previewed The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, generating massive excitement. Sega, however, was noticeably absent from the spotlight, foreshadowing its declining influence. E3 1998 saw further advancements, with Sony dominating headlines thanks to Metal Gear Solid and Resident Evil 2. Nintendo showcased Pokémon Red and Blue, marking the start of the franchise's global dominance. Sega, meanwhile, teased the Dreamcast, promising a console that would redefine gaming. The Dreamcast's official unveiling at E3 1999 was a high point for Sega. The console boasted impressive graphics and online capabilities, with games like Sonic Adventure and Soul Calibur drawing praise. Sony countered with the announcement of the PlayStation 2, which promised DVD support and backward compatibility. Nintendo revealed early details about the GameCube, but it wouldn't be fully unveiled until later. E3 2000 was a landmark year, with Sony stealing the show by showcasing the PlayStation 2's capabilities. Titles like Tekken Tag Tournament and Final Fantasy X demonstrated the console's power. Sega, despite strong offerings for the Dreamcast, struggled to compete with the PS2's hype. Nintendo hinted at the GameCube and the Game Boy Advance, maintaining interest in its future. The launch of the GameCube and Xbox at E3 2001 marked a turning point. Microsoft entered the gaming market with a bold presentation, highlighting Halo Combat Evolved as a flagship title. Nintendo showcased the GameCube with games like Luigi's Mansion. Nintendo showcased the GameCube with games like Super Smash Bros. Melee. Sony, meanwhile, continued to dominate with the PlayStation 2, previewing titles like Grand Theft Auto 3. Sony, meanwhile, continued to dominate with the PlayStation 2, previewing titles like Metal Gear Solid 2: Sons of Liberty. E3 2002 and 2003 saw a growing emphasis on software over hardware. Microsoft focused on expanding the Xbox's library with games like Fable and Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic. Nintendo emphasized connectivity between the GameCube and Game Boy Advance with titles like The Legend of Zelda: Four Swords Adventures. Sony continued to dominate with hits like Kingdom Hearts and Ratchet and Clank. E3 2004 was a pivotal year, with Sony unveiling the PlayStation Portable, a bold entry into the handheld market. Nintendo countered with the Nintendo DS, introducing the concept of dual screens and touch controls. Microsoft teased its next-generation console, the Xbox 360, setting the stage for the next hardware war. The next generation truly began at E3 2005, where Microsoft fully unveiled the Xbox 360. The console's HD capabilities and online features were heavily emphasized. Sony previewed the PlayStation 3, showcasing impressive tech demos like a real-time Final Fantasy VII cutscene. Nintendo remained enigmatic, offering only a brief glimpse of the revolution, later known as the Wii. E3 2006 is often remembered as one of the most iconic events in gaming history. Nintendo stole the show with the Wii, demonstrating its motion controls with games like Wii Sports and The Legend of Zelda: Twilight Princess. Sony faced backlash for the PlayStation 3's high price point of $599, despite impressive titles like Resistance: Fall of Man. Microsoft showcased the Xbox 360's growing library, including Gears of War. E3 2007 and 2008 reflected a shift in gaming culture. Microsoft emphasized online connectivity with Xbox Live, showcasing Halo 3 and Call of Duty 4: Modern Warfare. Sony pushed the PlayStation 3's multimedia capabilities and exclusives like Uncharted: Drake's Fortune. Nintendo capitalized on the Wii's success with casual-friendly titles like Wii Fit and Mario Kart Wii. E3 2009 saw the introduction of motion controls from Microsoft and Sony with Project Natal, later known as Kinect, and the PlayStation Move respectively. Nintendo unveiled Super Mario Galaxy 2 and Metroid Other M, appealing to its core audience. The event highlighted the growing importance of motion gaming, although it was clear that approaches varied. E3 2010 was another landmark year. Microsoft officially launched Kinect, showcasing its potential with games like Dance Central. Sony promoted the PlayStation Move and exclusives like God of War 3. Nintendo unveiled the 3 Deciseconds, offering glasses-free 3D gaming, and showcased The Legend of Zelda: Skyward Sword. The focus on next-gen hardware returned at E3 2013, with Sony and Microsoft unveiling the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Sony's $399 price point and emphasis on gamer-friendly policies gave it an edge over Microsoft, which faced backlash for its DRM policies and $499 price tag. Nintendo opted for a quieter presence, focusing on software for the struggling Wii U, including Super Mario 3D World and Mario Kart 8. E3 2014 to 2017 saw a mix of hardware and software announcements. Microsoft emphasized backward compatibility and new IPs like Sea of Thieves. Sony focused on virtual reality with PlayStation VR and exclusives like Horizon Zero Dawn. Nintendo unveiled the Switch at E3 2017, marking a return to form with titles like The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. E3 2018 and 2019 continued to showcase the industry's evolution, with a growing emphasis on streaming and cloud gaming. Microsoft promoted Project xCloud, while Sony previewed the PlayStation 5's capabilities. Nintendo maintained its momentum with hits like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. The COVID-19 pandemic disrupted E3 in 2020, leading to its cancellation. In 2021, the event returned as an all-digital showcase, highlighting the adaptability of the industry. Microsoft and Bethesda's joint presentation stood out, emphasizing the importance of acquisitions in shaping the future of gaming. While E3's future remains uncertain, its legacy as a platform for industry-defining moments is undeniable. From the rivalry between Sega and Nintendo to the rise of Sony and Microsoft, E3 has chronicled the history of gaming in unparalleled detail. Its impact continues to be felt, influencing how games are revealed and celebrated worldwide. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more stories and share your ideas for the next video in the comments.